Okay, so this is Magic Sword test number 1. Since Dallo is keeping family company out of state, I've been forced to conduct these tests myself, and I'm sure that by now he'd ask me if I was sure about what I'm about to do. Not really. Okay. Exhibit... Why am I trying to sound professional here? This is the Magic Sword. One that I am Dallo risked life and limb for in quite an amazing adventure. Sure. Or that would honestly, if it were to be put to film or released anywhere on the internet, would take a considerable budget and be a really painful project, especially for someone like me who writes, directs, and edits his own videos with absolutely no budget whatsoever. Yeah. Where was I going? Alright, Magic Sword. This test is to determine if the sword is able to be used against its wielder. I have no intention of dropping the sword, but it'd just be kind of nice to know these things. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Right now. Screw it. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Okay, after extensively painful testing, it has come to my conclusion that the Magic Sword, which, since I can't find any name for this thing of magically good deliciousness in the Magic-y Goodness book, I have decided to call Spectre because of reasons, or Sir Stabums. It's still up in the air. But it has come to my conclusion that Spectre / Sir Stabums can only kill or slice something up if the wielder wishes it to. If not, then it will phase right through the person / object without leaving any kind of scar, but will still feel pain equivalent to the injury. Ergo, if I were to stab someone with the heart with Spectre / Sir Stabums and didn't want them to die, they wouldn't die or have any physical injury, but they would feel the pain of getting stabbed through the heart. I have the power to make someone feel death without actually killing them. Almost went evil there. Anyway, I would do some more testing, but I have a review to get to, And I'd like to be able to walk in the morning. Good thing this magic hotspot heals me. Dressed to me. Total abuse of its power. Come on. There. Your applicant, your accepted to her institution. I'm going to college. Wonder if this will affect my reviews in any way. Probably not. Hello and welcome to Animated Revolution, where cartoons get put in their place. And welcome back to Heroes Born Month! Today we're looking at the only time Spider-Man's origin has been put to animation ever. Yeah, I'm not kidding, it was only done once. And on Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I could go into detail about Spider-Man's creation, but the basics is basically this. Stan Lee saw a fly crawling on a wall. Came up with Spider-Man. Everyone was against it because people hate spiders and superheroes can't be teenagers. Stan Lee put Spider-Man in Amazing Fantasy, eventually became Marvel's biggest cash cow, and writers try to make Peter Parker's life as hell as possible. Okay. Hey, I'm being a little bit unfair. There are plenty of good Peter Parker Spider-Man stories out there, even if One More Day and the Clone Saga are two of the worst things to ever be done in comic books. But hey, writers have learned their lessons. Spider-Verse. Spidey's also had a butt-ton of TV series, even one in Japan which influenced the use of mechas in Super Sentai. I'm not kidding. However, the hands-down best Spidey TV show is the Spectacular Spider-Man, which for absolutely no reason was cancelled far too short of its intended 65-episode run. The current one airing is Ultimate Spider-Man, which is okay, but not all that great. And it really has a tendency to talk down to kids. I mean, it's certainly the best of Disney XD's current Marvel animated lineup, but that's not really saying anything. Also, just because I want to get this out there, the Amazing Spider-Man movies are 10 times better than Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. And I have various reasons for that, but since I don't have the time, let's just move on. Among these various Spider-Man incarnations was Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, which was made way back in the 80s, which involved the adventures of Spider-Man and his new team of former X-Men and Firestar and Iceman. And why? Because! And for some bizarre reason, it aired alongside another Spider-Man TV series that was going on at the same time. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends lasted longer, but it was just as ridiculous. And in this series, 3 episodes were dedicated to the origins of the heroes, and another was dedicated to the origin of the team. Linear storytelling? What's that? And this month, as requested by Miguel Mercado, here's a plug for his channel, check him out, we're going over the origin of Spider-Man. And who knows what story this origin has in store for us.
Boy gets bit by radioactive spider, boy gets spider superpowers, boy becomes world's most popular crime fighter.
That's basically it. So let's not waste any more time and swing right into Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, Along Came a Spidey. So we start with the opening, which gives you the exact feel for this show. Cheap, lazy, and lame. The episode really opens with the Shocker escaping from prison. Somehow. We never see how he got his shock gloves, so I'm to assume that this prison has worse security than Arkham Asylum. And that's a very rare feat, trust me.
Spider-Man put me in that hole, Barcroft, and now I'm going to get even.
Sheesh, man! Forgive me if I'm a little slow on how the laws of physics work, but I was unaware that a mask made of some form of cloth could make your voice echo and robotic. So later, well, Peter Parker, Bobby Drake, and she's not in enough stuff for me to know her real name, and Aunt May are eating some hot dogs when all of a sudden the Shocker attacks an armed car. So, getting even with Spider-Man means armed robbery? Oh no! He found out that Spider-Man... Actually, I have no joke for this. What the heck, man? So the battle, if you can call it that, ensues with a series of stupid puns, stupid attacks from the Shocker, and then Aunt May goes into a building to keep her dog safe from Spider-Man because she's kind of an idiot if she thinks that Spider-Man's the one she needs to worry about. Then the Shocker destroys the roof below Spidey and it falls on Aunt May's shoulder.
Oh no! Aunt May.
I never took anatomy in high school, but I'm pretty sure that a blow to the shoulder doesn't make you unconscious. I'd also think that a piece of ceiling that size should have torn the old lady's arm off. Just saying.
The doctor said it's not serious. Spider-Man!
She's dead.
But what if he's wrong? And I caused it. Just like before.
Peter then decides to tell his friends about how he became Spider-Man, but I don't understand why. Right now, he should be swinging around New York looking for all the smartest people in the world, just for them to tell him that they can't heal a bullet wound, even with all their advanced knowledge in science, magic, and medicine. And in the case of Doctor Strange, both the magic and surgery, and then trade his marriage to Mephisto because everyone in the Marvel Universe was taking stupid pills that day, and oh god, I hate one more day. Okay, in all honesty, it's actually a pretty good lead-in, since we all know what's to come with Uncle Ben. So we flash back to Peter's childhood and then high school. The point of him as a small child in the flashback? Please?
But later on, being an A+ science student didn't seem to matter much either. To certain of my classmates like Flash Thompson. Stone!
Poor, pathetic Parker!
See ya, Petey? Maybe never.
So then we see that Peter was picked on in high school to the extent that I think everyone is a psychopath, considering that these girls are on the arms of a psycho and no one seems to have a soul. Then at the science exhibit, Peter gets bitten by a radioactive spider, and then he's finding out he has spider powers.
But I needed time to think, to plan what to do with my fantastic new powers.
Well, I think it's about time I visited Flash's house while he sleeps. And he'll never wake up again.
Any of you other suckers want to try to win $100?
I'll try for it, Crusher.
So he decides to become a wrestler, though his opponent is unfortunately not the overacting cheese of Randy Savage, but instead called the Crusher, whom he beats.
Hey! They don't call me Crusher for nothing.
No? How much do they charge? There was no doubt about it. I had the speed, agility, and proportionate strength of a spider.
Hey! Put me down! You win! You win!
Yeah.
Meh, not as good as Crusher's last match. And after that, Spidey gets a bunch of commercializing, does some party tricks, invents his web shooters for said party tricks, and selling out. Oh, good grief, he's better at endorsing himself than Darkwing Duck. Then, as we all know, Spider-Man refuses to stop a robbery, and then he finds out that Uncle Ben's been killed in a burglary. So Peter decides to go as Spider-Man to take down the burglar.
That rat could hold off an army from that deserted warehouse. But he won't hold off Spider-Man.
Ah yes, for the entire military is no match for one guy in a warehouse. Then Spidey goes in and, as the story goes, gets his own dose of irony.
No, no way you're gonna escape.
What?
Not from me, not ever. The thief, I didn't stop when I had the chance. I learned something important that night. I learned that with great power, there must also come great responsibility.
Now then, we've got the phrase, let's never use any other similes when on the subject of Spider-Man, and also distort it so that instead of must also come great responsibility, it's just comes great responsibility, thus indicating that you have no choice in being responsible with your great power.
Oh, Peter.
Once, by not using my spider powers, I lost Uncle Ben. Now today, by using them, I might lose Aunt May. I'm ready to chuck it all and give up being Spider-Man.
So, just as he's ready to give up being Spider-Man, his friends snap him out of it with little to no effort. Then the Shocker attacks. The ensuing battle actually makes the Shocker look like a legitimate threat, even countering and taking down Firestar and Iceman. That's something new, show. I'll give you props for doing it before Spectacular Spider-Man did. Then Spidey figures out how to beat Shocker. Attack his gloves and belt. Then, before the Shocker escapes in his helicopter, again. Seriously, does he have a stalker following him in that helicopter? Or can he summon it from the edge of another dimension with merely a thought? Either way, it's weird that he always has that helicopter in the air when he's ready to get out of somewhere. They catch the Shocker and his interdimensional helicopter, and everything is alright.
All the damage he caused. Maybe I was wrong about Spider-Man. Maybe he isn't so bad after all.
And that was Spider-Man and his amazing friends. Along Came a Spidey. It sucks. It does manage to keep the tone of Spider-Man's origin, especially the camp mixed with the dark and irony, but it misses the relationship between Peter and Uncle Ben, and as such it doesn't hit as hard as other versions of the origin because Ben literally gets like only 15 seconds of animation in this origin, and that relationship is one of the key elements of the Spider-Man mythos. The animation was cheap and the voice acting is subpar, but the story itself has potential. Unfortunately, it was made on the budget of an egg salad, so not much can be said in terms of good for this episode. Next month we'll be coming back to TMNT Back to the Sewer. Unfortunately.